That's going. One more to do, and we'll go ahead and untie. And I think what we'll do is take the gangplank in first, because it's not too high a step. That way I'll have it out of the way. And then probably the bow line. Get I did put power on this morning because it's fairly calm, and sometimes if you get it off a little bit, it actually can make it worse, so I decided not to. I think I'll get this one off the port first. And the last one here on the starboard. Got a little gust of wind there now. So if it starts backing away, I'll have to jump on. Relatively easy on departure. I don't think anything left behind. We're tracking on everything. Back away easily. We'll get quite clear before we turn here. Turned into a nice morning. It was heavy fog this morning. Maybe you could see 200 yards. But as soon as the sun came up, it burned off pretty quickly. 11 feet here. So we'll mosey out between the islands here. Beautiful sunny day. Cooler today than it has been. It will get warmer today than it was yesterday, and having the sun early helps warm it up too. So, but it is not going to be a hot day or anything. I forget what it was, maybe 65 or something like that. It should be a good day. 13 feet, pretty flat bottom here. But I know rocks can come up quickly, so that's why I'm going pretty slow. A little gust of wind coming around the corner there. I think it's supposed to be southeast winds today, so I just remembered that. So at least I untied in the right order, right? Just ended up being a pretty good site. Small, like most of them are, but even had some wood, although it was pretty rotten. It wasn't the best wood, but we'll pull out here in the middle, and then I'll shut you down until we get to a destination. Plan is about an 8-mile leg. Probably be a little bit more by the time you take the kinks out of it. Put the autopilot on here to hold the course and get it turning down towards the entrance here. All right, that's going. Get the bow one going. Just leave the doors open so I can access things quickly. Took my vest off to make it a little bit more maneuverable. Okay, this is the first one to check. We need to take the autopilot off. Looks like all shallow areas around there. So we need to watch depths. Nice cliff across the way. It'd be great if we can. I'll swing you around so you can see that. Beautiful area. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful sunny day, fall weather. Beautiful day. Hard to beat. And I think this island will work for a tie-up. Just need to go in and take a look and see. There's others, but this one I think looks the best to me. So we'll swing by close. I could go right on this rock on the end, but I don't know if there's enough to tie to. I see a rock on the right, but it may be too far away. Okay, there's shallow rocks there. There's a rock on the right I could use, but I don't see what I can use on the left. Looks to me like right there would be the best, right between, but is it too shallow? I think I could go in there. All right, I think I know where I want to go. Well, maybe it would be better to do it on this side, and there's less hazards. We'll take a look on the inside. Yeah, there's not as good as on this side, I don't think. Let me look. Well, that would work too. Okay, let's just take it up in on this side. Well, I'm trying to get it balanced here, but it's probably about as good as I'm going to get. Almost up against that rock. Well, we'll pull it around the other way. Tie it to a rock over here. Well, let's see what we got. Plenty of firewood. Should I use that rock? Yeah, I think I'll use the rock. Instead of this tree is pretty rotten. This will be a broad angle anyway. This is much better. A little bigger island than usual, what I've had in the past. More things to trip over though. Strange looking rocks around here. I gotta cut that branch out of there. All right, bow, what do I tie? Another rock. What do I tie to? I guess this rock will work if I can get it to catch on it. Getting a little bit stiff. Farther out the better, I think. It's kind of muddy around here. That'll hold, I think. Let's get this closed up. All right, folks, we've arrived. About 8 feet off the stern, so I can put the motor down. Beautiful spot, beautiful cliff over there. Swing it around there so that you can see that. That's the view. Pretty good. And we went 8.9 miles. Okay, so that's saved. These are saved. Flat seas, blue sky, heavy fog this morning, but lifted by the time we left, so it was a really nice day. We were blessed. Lonnie back at home said he prayed a blessing on us today, and we have received it. So we're thankful for that. The site is kind of a weird, I don't know if there's a seiche on this lake or not. It's a big lake, but it appears to me that there's wet ground a lot of times between the islands and when it's shallow. So if there's a seiche, you might see a 6-inch rise in up and down of the water. It kind of looks that way to me, because this right here, there was wet where I got off, even though it's up off the shore ways. So we're just going to do chores now this afternoon. Later, maybe not today, I don't know yet, but we're going to explore up the head of this bay, which, what was it, Campbell Bay. So this is Campbell Bay. And there's quite about another mile up there that we can go, but I'm going to do that with the dinghy and try to do some fishing. We'll probably end up staying here a couple of days, but we'll see what the weather shows. It's supposed to get rain on Sunday. Whether we want to move, it depends on when that rain is coming and what we can accomplish in the next 24 hours. So we'll talk to you soon. I'm working on the dinner, and I'm going to go ahead and get the camera out here going. And right now I use these little trays to hold wood chips in it to give me a wood smell, and I put that on the grill side and let that heat up until I get smoke. And this is a self-starting grill, so it should be going. I put this extra foil here to block wind because on days when it's windy, it tends to blow the flame out. I don't know why they don't make these grills more tight for air like that, but they don't. So that's what I'm doing there. And inside, I'm working on the sliders. I'm having hamburger sliders tonight with chips and a beer. And I've already spiced the burger. So now I'm just getting butter the buns, and then I do those on the grill here. On the, not the grill, but on the burner. So first thing I need is butter. On the boat, I always use, I don't use regular butter because it tends to be too cold in the morning. It won't spread, so I use butter with canola oil. And that allows it to be soft enough to always be able to spread no matter how cold it is. Maybe short of coming right out of the refrigerator, it keeps very well in this. So I butter these, and then I just put them on the 2-burner stove and brown them up. It takes about 15 minutes or so for that grill to get hot enough. So I don't do these until the last minute because they take very few minutes to brown. Chips are out. Let me grab the ketchup out of the fridge. So we'll just set that over here. I suppose I could use a spoon for that so I don't have to contaminate that with a dirty knife. Well, I've used all my small spoons, so I'm going to have to grab one up, which could be a problem because I just washed these dishes. And it's always a balancing act. I think I was able to do it. So I got a spoon. And then, like I said, I spice this. The spices I use for are salt. What am I trying to say? Garlic. And then I use a Grill Master Smokehouse Maple Seasoning for the sliders. I don't always use it for burgers or for steak. For steak, I use onion and garlic mix. So I just use this particular mix with the sliders. Like I said, these take just a few minutes to do, maybe 5 minutes or less. Here, let me go out and check, make sure we've got smoking a little bit here. Just starting to smoke a little bit. Give it a few more minutes so we get some effective smoke, and then we'll get going. I just went out and took a few pictures, took my chair out to get it ready for the fire tonight while I'm waiting for those chips to start smoking. Okay, it's starting to smoke a little bit there. So let's see, we'll take, I think, 5 minutes on the first side, see how that goes. So let's take these out. I use these mats, keeps the grill cleaner, and it still leaves the creases on it and just makes less mess. So I use these and cut them up to fit a smaller piece like this. Since I don't need they come in like 12 by 12 sheets or something like that. Okay, so I need to get that so you can see. I'll move this over, starting to smoke, and then put the sliders on this side and let them go. I'll wait until about 3 minutes in before I start working on the slider buns. Why did I go in here? I think I was going to, instead of using a big plate, I'm going to go ahead and use a paper plate. As these sliders are small, they don't really need to use a regular plate. I don't use these all the time, but I carry them for snacks and various times where you don't really want to use a full plate. Smoking very well out there. Got a little breeze coming through here now, so I may have to close the door. Otherwise it'll cool it off too much. I'm starting out with just 5 minutes at maximum heat, and then I'll judge whether, how brown they are. My left big toe is still affecting me. I have a feeling I broke it. but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to just limp through it, but it's hurting and it's not seeming to get better. So I don't really have any small splints, and I don't have a shoe kind that I could put a splint on anyway. So I don't really know what to do with it. I've been trying to careful with it at night to let it try to heal, but it's not healing. I need to turn those over when that comes time, so I'll use these tongs. Oh yeah, I was going to get these going. Start cooking those. Because it takes a few minutes and we just want to crisp them up a little bit. I am just a ketchup guy, so I don't put mustard or anything else on a burger. Smoking nicely, so they should work out really good. Fortunate that the wind's calmed down this evening, and it's when you're grilling, it's just much easier if it's not blowing, because it tends to cool the fire too much or blow it out even sometimes if it's very gusty. Turn this off so it's not making a lot of racket, and then we'll go ahead and start it right away. All right, we'll go out here and see what we got. Yep, they're heating up very nicely. You can see they browned up really good. So that's about right. 5 minutes on the side. And then try to get these so they're just brown is all. And then we'll put a hot pad holder on the table. Yep, it's coming along here. Give it just a minute or two and that'll be ready. So pretty much brown, so we'll just leave that set on there and finish browning. In the meantime, I want to get a beer out. Yeah, I need to get a beer out, so I don't have to wait for that. Grab a beer out of the fridge and our mug out of the freezer. Got to have a frozen mug. So here's our mug. Rolling Rock. I've been using these a lot, but I'm less enthusiastic with it anymore. I think it's just too light. But that's what we got today. So 1 minute. Mix up the ketchup a little bit. It's been setting a while. It tends to separate a little bit. And I need something to catch the moisture off the mug there. All right, what do we got? 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. We'll just cut it off right there. That's enough. And there's our burgers right there. Need to put the bottom one on it and spread the ketchup, and then get the other one. And then put some ketchup on the top for each one. And then the top for the bun here, nice and brown. And there we go. That's it, folks. You'll have to wait for the picture to see that. Got to shoot that right now. Here's where I'm currently parked. Beautiful cliff across the way. Hoping to take the dinghy up the head of the bay to explore. Well, good evening, folks. We're enjoying the fire here on the rock this evening and taking it easy. I think tomorrow I'm going to go down to the upper end of this Campbell Bay, they call it, and do a little exploration and some fishing along the way. The day's been really beautiful, been blessed all day long, and we're very thankful for that. I had a couple of burger sliders for dinner with chips and a cold beer. Very enjoyable. And as you can see, our site is it's another little islet, a little bigger than the last couple. and found quite a bit of firewood here actually. Driftwood, mostly. Although I could probably cut up a few more trees if I want to. And I probably will in the morning. I'm hoping the weather holds until late before any rain comes in and clouds come in, so I can enjoy this beautiful bay. But it's been a good day. Grateful to be here on this place and still walking around. I'm limping a little bit with my bad toe, but still trucking. So I'll swing the camera around so you can see the cliffs here. The sun's starting to shine on the cliffs. They were actually in the picture earlier, but the wind switched on me, and so I had to move the camera. Sun shining on that shoreline there. Still a little bit left over, so. And there's actually another one down this way. There's another islet over there, another cliff down that way. So we'll probably call it quits for the night, and maybe if there's some battery enough left over, I might run it a little bit as it gets dark, if I don't get too cold in the process here.